And so the duel begins. I mean, first thing to say right off the bat, we've just received the news that unfortunately, to some, Eamon McGrath has resigned as CC, or Scene Keenness. Scene Commoner. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but no, maybe I thought I should try, just in honor of him. But yes, this is a CC. I think some people may underestimate how important this is. This is a CC who has been there for 6 months. So this was in response, I believe, to the motion of confidence that was raised against him, which was raised by the government themselves. So it did seem like it would pass. They have turned up in force. We have, and something I'd like to mention, which was also brought to my attention. The government does tend to have higher attendance on legislative sessions. Again, I might be wrong about that, but I think that is from statistics correct. Again, I can't say that for sure. But we're already starting with the bills, the Minister's Amendment Bill. Yeah, like I said, I don't think people realise how big Eamon resigning as CTD is. I don't know who will replace him. It may as well be no, it might just be an FF, a fearful member, but it could be any other member of the door if they so wish to, and get the support of Finafall. We have Shanadori presenting a bill here. This is Checkmail Every Day. Again, I'm not sure what the Shanadori are allowed to do in the chamber, but I know that they are allowed to present bills in the chamber. I don't think they can raise motions, or I think they might be able to have statements, but they can't participate in the actual dual session. But I could be wrong about that. We have Eamon McGrath showing up here. This is the long-awaited amendment to the Minister's Bill about domestic affairs. Oh, it appears Eamon has become a clerk. Well, it's nice to see him still participating in the duel and in that kind of making sure everything runs smoothly. This is Checkman Every Day. He says the minister's amendment restricted me from doing my duties, and he's fixing the restriction to do his duties. A motion was apparently raised, but I have not seen it. I'm not sure who keeps using the whistle. I mean, another thing to mention, I would say the opposition. I did slander the government's attendance on question time sessions, but it's also important to mention that today the opposition isn't really in adequate attendance. We see the Social Democrats with 3 of their 4 seats turning up, but Labour 1 of 4 seats. This has been, I would say, has been a very big issue with Labour because you have this party that's very on and off about attendance. Oscar Clark's here speaking on the bill. So I will be bringing up people soon, just not right now. He says he accuses the government of Americanizing the ministers and says that this is amendment number 11, which is true, I'm pretty sure. And then he goes on to say, but the commissioner of the Garda was very clear that he does not want his service regulated under the new and pointless department, and I'm inclined to agree with him, LCC. He goes on to say, I would not be surprised if half of the amendments on this bill from the very deputy that is the Taoiseach and the very deputies on that bench. I would not be surprised if half of the amendments on this bill. Oh, if the half of the bills came from the very deputies on the other side of the bench. He goes on to say, to summarise, this bill is unwanted by an agency executive. It's overcomplicating the Ministers' Act and Americanising it. And quite frankly, it's pointless, according to the leader of the opposition there. After this piece of legislation has finished, I will be bringing up people to come and speak, if they so wish to. No one responding to his debate there. I assume this is the government hoping for a quick session here, just passing all legislation. Hold on, I am actually going to go to the Trello now. So I'm very confused as if a Shanadori can actually start proposing things within the chamber. The question is now presented to the bill, whether the bill passes or not. Lots of agreement from the government benches there, as expected. 1-0 from the opposition, 1 abstain. 2 non-voters, but these would just be registered as abstained. Three nils. I'm not sure if you can change your vote. I'm pretty sure it remains an abstain, but CCs are usually quite lenient on that. A vote all has been called as deputies move to go and vote. It has been a while since I've read the standing orders, so but I don't think it says anything about Shanadori in the dual ones. Hold on, there's quite a few nil in here. Some whom are actually from the government bench. I'm very confused as to if they're actually dual members or not. I think they are. I think the government, the TARs do win that one, but it's very close. A lot closer than you'd think to be on a government bill. I would ask that the drums be stopped playing. I think it's very distracting. The results are now being read by Maxi. But yes, according to the standing orders, a member of the government or a minister of state who is a member of the Shanad may attend and be heard in the door. So I'm not sure. Very vague there. Doesn't say if they can propose motions or not. But I would assume, considering how it's phrased, yeah, you can. Oh, it's a tie. That means the bill fails. Oh, thank you. But like I said, it's not very clear in these standing orders. It just says, a member of government or a minister of state who is a member of the Shanad may attend and be heard in the door. It doesn't say what can be heard or anything like that, so it does confuse me. There has been a motion to revote. Oh, the revote has been allowed. This isn't something that's very commonly allowed within the duel. Well, no, I think if it's demanded by the government, the CC usually does oblige. Usually because if they don't, they may get bonked. But yes, there definitely seems to be a win for the government here on their bill, which may propose a problem to some people, where if government bills fail, they can just revote, but. Which is something I do have to say we've seen quite a lot in recent times. We've seen the government asked to revote on bills, and that's usually been allowed, which can sometimes change the direction of the bill and where it would go. I think the opposition has done this too, though. I will be bringing up check mail soon. I just want to hear Leah because she has some words regarding Eamon. Hello, are you with us?
Good morning. Good morning.
I believe it's the evening, but what was it you were going to say about Eamon McGrath?
Listen, we've heard a lot about Eamon in the last few days, okay? We've heard a lot about him. And quite frankly, folks, we love Eamon. We love him a lot. He's a big patriot, and I want to say, Eamon, I know you're here. I know you're listening, Eamon. We love you lots. We love you lots, Eamon. We're going to have a great new big Eamon replica, and we're going to put it right in front of the White House in Washington, D.C., folks. A lot of big people are going to love it. That's what I'm hearing. They're calling it a terrible impression. They don't know. It's like Elon. We call him Elon. It's a big bad fail, folks. Big loss for the Democrats. We love it. We love you, Eamon. We love you, quite frankly.
So I'm just going to quickly read out the results. 5 yeses, 1 abstain, and 5-0. I do actually have a statement here from Eamon. He says, I welcome my appointment to the position of clerk in Oireachtas Éireann. It is a privilege to serve the two chambers and our members on both sides of both chambers. I look forward to continue working with Maxi and JJ in the door. He continues, and I want to especially thank all party leaders, especially Oscar, and all the, I think that's plural for Taoiseach, who have served during my tenure as CC. So some very nice departing words from Eamon. Personally, I think it's nice that we won't be seeing the end of him, and he'll continue working as a clerk in the door, which I'd say is quite a fitting position after being, CC. Anyway, I do believe Checkmail has a few things to say, so I'll be bringing him up now. Before we do continue, I believe we're moving on another bill. I'm quickly trying to find out what bill this is.
Hello, my bad. I was eating my kebab. How are you?
Hi. Of course it's okay. I'm just quickly checking what this motion was about. They keep. Oh, I think they're trying to elect a new CC.
Yes, they are. They are. I'd like to in regards to your about the Shenadori and we're not allowed to raise any motions because this is not our house. It's the same thing like Carlock cannot serve as CC, whatever, but we have the right to be heard in the Dáil.
Can you raise a point of order though?
We can't. No, we have no power in the Dáil apart from
Oh,
being heard. We have a
I s-
respect. We have If I remember now correctly, there is a vote. There was in the Constitution, I think it is. It says that we have the right to be heard in the Dáil, but whatever. But let me try to find it there. Whatever, wherever it is.
yeah, I was very confused about that because I saw quite a lot of point of orders coming from Huey yesterday. I think it was Huey or Jack Cosgrave, one of the two, and they
um,
kept being heard when I believed that.
I believe those. Well, Huey's part of the Dáil. You know,
Then it
he's a
might have been
TD now.
Jack. I'm not too sure who it was, but someone kept raising. Shanadori kept raising point of orders in the door. So that's just what stumped me there. I wasn't too sure.
It says here somewhere. It's like
So we're currently talking about the Public Servant Protection Bill, which is actually a bill we discussed yesterday and has come under a lot of fire. Because I think a lot of people would argue that this bill already exists and is implemented, and there is no reason for it to exist, because it was basically saying that public servants should be protected like members of the Oireachtas. But it is kind of within all laws that any member of the general public is, defended. I will be bringing up more people in just a moment. We're now moving to a second reading where there will be a debate. After this debate, I will be looking to bring up some other members of the duel here. I believe this would be Leah as a representative of the Social Democrats and William J.
so.
Perry as representative of Labour.
So Daniel, how's your day been?
It's been lovely. I don't think how my day's been is relevant to the duel though.
Well, I'm on air anyways. This is my show now.
Okay. Currently we have Oscar debating the bill. He says none of them wanted to accept the responsibility and accountability for this disaster of a bill. But let's be very clear. Again, in the words of Oscar, just because we enjoy the privilege of sitting here. He goes on to say, does not mean we are above the people of our country.
You what? Oh.
I would ask that you do mute whilst eating, just whilst we
My bad.
Don't worry. He says no TD or Shenador. I think Shenadori should enjoy the privilege of more protection over the average person. And to even suggest such is a disgrace to the people who elected us. I think something to mention here, though, it would be a case to argue that members of the duel may be targeted more in attacks. However, obviously there are counters for this argument, and we don't have anyone who can back them up or anything. But the bill, this has been, like I said, very, very controversial bill in the fact that it was very poorly written, according to some people, especially members of the Dáil and the opposition. I'm pretty sure even Mr. Sunday took a look at it and I think laughed at it, but I cannot confirm that for sure. We have a minister, well, the presenter of the bill, rising to debate back. However, a motion to move to the third reading has been called. Reading. Oh, and she says we are above everyone else, which I think is a very controversial statement to be making. He continued. A lot of people from the government, well, I've just seen one member say she is not a representative of the government, and another member saying they held their head in shame. I mean, I didn't catch the end of her statement, but I have just found it. She finished, if we were not, why is everyone else not sitting where we are? I believe that was in the statement where she said she was above, that the door is above everyone else. Oireachtas. There has been more debate, so I'm pretty sure that will be heard as well. We now see a Labour member rising. This member says you do not put hypothetical questions in your bills, and you do not separate members of the Dáil to that of the rest of the public. I don't know who keeps ringing that bell, but it's very confusing to me because that's usually the bell the CC rings when they need the attention. He says, we are citizens like everyone else. We have no virtue of special treatment contrary to them. We are citizens elected here with a mandate. The public service should treat us no differently than the rest of our countrymen. And they finished their speech there. We have a member rising, I believe. And apparently she has left the chamber, so... And she has been ordered to withdraw from the chamber under standing order number 44. Point of order has been raised. The door is erupting into chaos. Bill has asked that the deputy sit down. He says he takes the tannish door for her point of order. She begins, I would ask that the LCC reflects on his actions. She continues, my TD has said something that he found embarrassing. Continuing, and she then says, and decides to hide the chat. She goes on to say, he did not do it out of spite, but out of embarrassment. Another deputy just rose, asking for Bo to be ejected. I'm pretty sure this is her leader, but the LCC says they do hear that. However, I believe this is regarding a ejection that was made. I'm not too sure why. He says, if you continue to make useless motions, deputy, I will also ask you to leave. I mean, this is a very confusing situation. He's now asking the member to withdraw from the session because she left the chamber. Will says the LCC says he's acting upon this. Is now asking the deputy to leave. He finally asks that he gets changed or ejected. I'm not sure if this was regarding not Eamon. I'm not sure if this was regarding Michael at first. Again, a very chaotic session today. Motion has been raised to move to the third reading. He says that the CC makes him blush, which I'm not sure is appropriate for Oireachtas, but it's not my place to judge. He says, if there was ever a more clear sign of intellectual sterility and incapacity, this bill signals it clearly. So very big words and a very big statement actually from a dual member, a TD from Labour here, saying that the bill lacks any intelligence, I suppose, which again is a very, very big statement to be making. They say it does not even have any effect, which the person who presented it made it clear on RTE broadcast. He says, in fact, they made it clear it is not meant to be taken as being effective or having any effect, just as a reminder. I would like to see how the government votes on this. Because I believe this is a bill that is definitely at potential for being nilled, sorry. The deputy states the bill does not have any enacting sections of it. The first part of it says the bill proposes, which is not only improper formatting, but just a lack of faith of the writer's belief of itself. I will be calling up Brian soon. He apparently has an announcement to make, so. He then says, I mean, it stabs at my heart. The writer feels so careful and afraid they cannot even write out a definitive section. We have Jessie showing up to the chamber here with one of her children. She has done this in the door before. The LCC has asked members of the door to not rise whilst he is standing. He's now asked Deputy Michael... Just waiting for him to finish there. He says that he's been advised to name the deputy. I think this was just to call on him, not name him something. He has finally said he must ask the member to withdraw from the chamber. We have 2 rejections now. He's asked the other deputy to sit. I'm pretty sure this member is a Shanadori, but I don't know, I just thought I saw them on the bench earlier. They may have been confused. Now have another member, I believe this is Jack Cosgrave, saying that it's totally unjust. I'm just going to confirm that this is Jack Cosgrave. I'm not too sure then. He goes on to say there was no warning, prior warning to this. He said the LCC has said that it will give Michael one last chance to change into a more appropriate outfit. I believe we will now be moving on. Oh, sorry, I think there's a point of order raised. Oh, never mind, it's just a response. We've just had Jesse break into the chamber, but now have a member speaking, I think. We're still hung up on the same bill. We may have another session that overruns. She says, if we're not above everyone else is not sitting there, basically. Elsie says the deputy that this is not a point of order. There's now asking if the bill passes. We have 1-0 from the opposition, but the government does seem to be in agreement. There's now been the confidence bill being proposed by Huey. A point of order was just called. The leader of the opposition has asked that a member be ejected for apparently, I believe, just loads of insults. And they've now asked the Shanadori to remove themselves from the chamber. No, I'm not sure if it's a Shanadori. No, because... Oh, there's two. I apologise. I believe they're asking... Mooley, I don't know, to leave. I don't know, I think I've had them... I think it's like they've been called the similar names, but anyway, they're now moving on. Another member of the government ejected. Deputy Huey is now presenting the bill. I will hear what Brian has to say. Hello, Brian, are you with us? I think the phone's still ringing. Now, you'd be surprised at how long it takes to ring a mental hospital. Hello, Brian, are you there? No, I think we got something. Brian? Well, whilst we wait for him to fix his microphone, Huey is currently presenting a bill, a confidence bill, which I believe when a motion of no confidence
Early
has been
start.
raised. Yeah, I can hear you now. And when a motion of no confidence has been raised, the Dáil may vote in confidence of the Dáil again. He says this
What are
allows
you on?
inactive governments to keep their mandate, I believe.
You'd know a lot about inactive governments.
I do.
Yes.
Sorry, if you're just here to insult me, I am going to have to move you down to the
No, no,
audience.
no, no, no,
This is
no. I'm
about...
here to contribute. I'm here to contribute.
Okay, then please do contribute. I'm not a part of the Dáil there, therefore I should not be involved within the conversation.
Look, you're the chairman. What are you on about?
This is about the Dáil, not me.
I'm
And
not talking about you. You brought yourself up.
Brian, you told me you had an announcement, so if you are going to make it, I'd ask
Yeah,
that you make
yeah,
it
I
now.
did have an announcement.
And
Look, can you not rush me? The more you're gonna
okay,
rush me, the
I
slower I'm gonna
apologise.
go.
I just don't think
Look,
you should be coming up here and talking about a non-member of the Dáil. If you have problems with my
look,
presenting, you can report me to the certain bodies to get me removed.
look, look, I don't care. I didn't care about you. You brought yourself up. But I have some great things to say.
Again, I'd
If
love to
if
hear
you'd
those
let me
things.
say, I feel like we need another state of emergency to delay this election because I believe this election will be very bad for the people. So we're gonna have to delay it. I think we're gonna have to utilize everything we have to delay it, and I believe that would be good.
So, I would like to ask, are you a member of Fianna Fáil now?
Yes, I am, and I will be getting them a lot of votes. They're gonna get a lot of
Are you
votes.
a representative of Fianna Fáil?
No, but I am a member, and I'm a member that is gonna get them a lot of votes.
Are you going to be put into the Dáil? Or Shannon?
I'm not gonna comment on that one. We can wait and
Okay.
see.
Alright, I will respect that. I mean, maybe we could get some history behind, your time in the Social Democrats. Did you actually propose any bills?
No, because I didn't know how to write them, to be honest.
Do you think that maybe it might be attributing to the fact that you never became Taoiseach that was elected?
Look, I was the Taoiseach, alright? I was the greatest. Some would say the best.
But
You know,
a
and
lot of people would argue
I
that
was
you weren't
elected
elected.
many times. I was elected many times. They just rigged it.
You were elected many times as leader of the opposition. We are now voting on the
I no,
confidence bill.
I was
The
elected
government
many times
is
as Taoiseach.
sorry,
They just rigged it.
I am trying to report on the current bill. So we've got quite a few in agreement from the government, an abstain from the opposition, another abstain from the opposition, Social Democrats and Labour there. but it has, with the full abstains from the opposition and full agreement within the government, the bill does pass. So we now move to the next bill. Oh, I need to make a note here. I have been informed that a state of emergency cannot delay elections according to the Emergency Power Act. We're now
Look,
moving to
well,
the we're now
I
moving
believe
to
it
the
can.
Oireachtas. We're now moving to the Oireachtas quota bill, presented by Deputy Huey Pierce Long Jr. Anyway, do continue.
I believe it can because I was gonna use it and then they muted me for my 48 hours in power. You know, they didn't trust me to speak.
But I'm pretty sure you're no. But they're saying that an election cannot be held or cannot be delayed by the State of Emergency Act.
Who's saying this? Who's saying this?
A member of group staff.
What is this unnamed member?
I don't know if they want me to call them out on live air, so I'm just going to say it is a member of group staff, and they have said that you cannot you cannot delay an election via an state of emergency.
Look, I'm just gonna say, watch me delay it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to use a lot of extreme methods to protect this country, and we're gonna be using them all. You're just gonna have to watch.
I will ping you in general chat with the bill.
You know, I know all about this bill. I got the ET to look at it, and
We've
we
just
looked at
said
it very closely.
We've just had Huey say with his 180 plus IQ, and his Sigma Alphaness or something like that, he was going to pass. This bill should be passed. Which, I mean, I'm not sure if that's too parliamentary. But anyway, we do have another bill being criticised by the leader of the opposition. He says that he does support the bill, but he supports what the bill is trying to do, but he goes on to say that it's not going to revive the community. He says quite the contrary. It will kill that what has always been there. I believe in the game, which political activity. He says in-game participation should be encouraged. Don't get me wrong or twisted on that. This should be done through different ways. He finishes, considering a good half of government TDs haven't paid Monaghan in weeks, or haven't spoken in general in weeks, you can see what I mean. TD after TD would be suspended. I believe this Oireachtas quota bill would enforce that members of the duel will be in game, leading us to perhaps a front bench only duel.
Look, do you know who
Sorry,
else would be kicked
I just
out
need
of
to
the
finish
team?
it. Sorry, I just need to finish this. As I previously said, political activity has always stood by Ireland and kept us alive and relevant, when the game and frankly everything else was in the gutters, I believe they're trying to say. Or atters, that might be a different way of saying bad. They say this is a desperate attempt to revive the game, which won't really work. And what will work is organise events like the surgery they hosted, which saw nearly 30 players in game. Oscar Sullivan, leader of the Social Democrats and the opposition. Finishing mandating TDs to play the game would not only kill our actors, but stagnate Monaghan more than it already is. So the deputy does argue, well, the leader of the opposition argues, that the Oireachtas quota bill will just create less activity, again, according to the deputy.
What deputy?
This was leader of the
Hello,
opposition, Oscar
it's
Sullivan.
it's me. It's me once
Oh,
again.
Oscar doesn't play it.
Oh, actually, I think that is incorrect. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I have seen him quite a few times in the game. Again, I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. We're just voting on a government bill here.
This
Look,
this RTE
Oscar doesn't play the
show
game.
is sponsored by the great patriot O'Carney.
This is not true. I just need to make that clear.
Brian,
This is not sponsored by the O'Kearneys.
Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I am. I am here.
How are you, great patriot?
Sorry, I would like to keep this on the
I'm very
subject
good.
of the
Thank
duel.
you. How are you?
Very good, very good, thank you.
Um,
How are you finding the doll, Brian?
I'm finding it very interesting. I feel like people like Crooked Oscar are very bad people, though, so it does make me worry about
Brian, could you expand
It's
on
it's
this?
true as they say. It's crooked Oscar O'Sullivan once again strikes again with his mighty old hammer, trying to ruin everything in this doll. Shame on him.
Sorry, I would like to say, I would like to ask Brian to elaborate on his point he was just making.
what point.
You were saying that Cricket Oscar O'Sullivan. Well, you said something about Oscar. Uh, what were you trying to say with that? Could you expand a bit more on the point that what happened in the door is interesting? So I would like to know
Look,
what is
we-
interesting about the door, to you at
look,
least.
we all know that Oscar tried to coup me a few weeks ago, a few months ago, with his group staff powers, and we all saw it. He was part of that group, that very evil group that tried to remove me twice, and they failed both times. They had to use their executive powers to remove me,
I
and
would like to ask, do you
I,
have any evidence that we can see of this?
I have lots of evidence. I will send it in general right now. Give me a sec.
Okay, I would like to see this evidence. I do want to try promote more of the truth on RTE rather than just political beliefs.
Please don't silence the great O'Carney.
No,
He's
I'm not
done
sure.
wonders for this nation as a Taoiseach. He's done wonders, wonders which no one can comprehend. It's just so beautiful,
So,
beautiful.
would
Thank you,
you
Carney.
support another O'Kearney tenureship as Taoiseach?
He's a great bit of stuff altogether. You know what I mean? Altogether, it's a great bit of stuff.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Right, moving
Eh,
back over to the door. We are currently talking about the Public Appointments Bill. I believe this. Oh yes, this is the bill that proposes that public servants be elected. Well, not elected. Public servants, such as civil servants, will be chosen. Well, when the government makes an appointment, I believe the civil service a commission takes a look at the appointment. So, if a member of government appoints someone to the civil services, the this commission would oversee these appointments. However, we do have Oscar currently speaking here now. He says that the bill will go down the gutter quicker than the prisons bill one did. He says the bill. I think he is saying that the bill is born to die, and he goes on to say that it's not going to work and that it's going to die. Well, I believe I may have just received evidence. So I'm just seeing this evidence he's sent.
Look, it's great evidence. Some would say it's the most clear evidence.
may I see this evidence? Where is it posted?
It is just in
Oh,
general.
aye.
I believe this is evidence of Oscar Well, I'm not sure if he said Oscar in specific, but group staff trying to pressure him into quitting. I believe we're now moving to a third reading, and now
dear.
asking if the question passes. Well, if the bill passes. We've got three tars from the government bench, 3 nils from the opposition. I believe a vote all will be called. Yeah, a vote all has been called. The government members have actually dwindled throughout the session. We
Um,
went from almost full attendance to now a very small
sorry, Dan.
attendance.
May I just publicly announce because Mr. Davids is in the channel? Can he unban me because I can't attend the Shannon?
You snooze, you lose. Sorry.
No, I didn't even know it was possible. I actually didn't even know it was possible.
Hold on, who just came up?
That was David.
Oh, I never heard him speak, and I just didn't.
Can you unban me, please, Dave?
I would like to ask that you ask him in general chat or something rather than the RTE stage. I believe this bill will pass just by looking at the numbers in the tar and nil booths.
Look, you can't count, Dan. How can you say that?
Well, no, this.
David, you have to ban Krispy Kreme. He's doing it as well. The man who smears human excrement all over his shameful body.
Right, let's quit that. Can we please move back to the subject of the duel and what's happening right now? We're currently having the results of. Oh, I've just had.
David, for the love of God, can you unban me?
Oh, I've just had
I'll
the. So I
unban
see.
you when I think about it.
Okay, we have 6 yeses and 4 nos and 1 abstain. So it does pass. I see what they mean by abusing the Hansard now. We're getting people saying at everyone. I've gotten 4 pings in there. That is an issue that may need to be fixed. The question is now that we do adjourn, and the question has been answered with an overwhelming yes. So the dual Aaron has now adjourned, and we move to the Shannon.
May I announce a public motion through the VC for me to get unbanned?
Right, it's been lovely having both Checkmail Everyday and Brian O'Kearney up on the stage. Again, thank you very much for coming up. Please do come back very shortly in just under a minute, where we will be returning back to the Shannon. Until then, Shannon. I'm just going to say I believe we are waiting for enough Shannon members to turn up for quorum. So I believe the session will be starting as soon as we reach quorum for the Shannon. I do have like 5 pieces of information to announce very shortly. So please do remain tuned and stick around for that. Alright, and the Shannon is now in session. Members of the Shannon are now being asked to be seated. I'm not sure why I keep saying dual, but the first item is now being read. This is the Public Servant Protection Bill presented by Finnaful. Oh, he says it was. We've just had Chickmail say that it was a Green Party bill. Oh yes, I've just been reminded of something I needed to say. Um, First, the deputies Michael McGrath and Jack Cosgrave were ejected just a moment ago from the door due to admin abuse. But more surprisingly, we've had Huey Pierce Long Jr. from an anonymous source say they've resigned as a TD, and he was telling the Taoiseach, "I hereby resign as TD of the Dáil Éireann whilst exiting the chamber." He's also, I believe it's necessary to also mention, he has now just been appointed as a Justice of the Supreme Court, I believe. There was also a screenshot that was sent by an anonymous source. They say, just to point out this coincidence, there was an @ to Huey Pierce Long Jr. saying, "So you just joined the Dáil to oust me and then be nominated for a judicial appointment straight afterwards." Oh, I do actually have Mr. Sunday here being asked to come up, so I will very quickly bring it up. Yeah, Mr. Sunday there. Hello, Mr. Sunday. Oh, you're self muted. Hello, are you? Hello, are you with us? Okay, hello. Yes, I have just heard the news. It was quite shocking to me seeing. I cannot comment whether it was wonderful news or not, but we just saw Huey Pierce Long Jr. elected, made a judge of the Supreme Court, which, I mean, right after their resignation as a TD, wouldn't you say this is somewhat suspicious? Hold on, hold on. I just want. Sorry, I do need to quickly put. The bill to protect public servants has just failed the Shannon. So that was quite shocking. I didn't expect that was both from all three government seats and two opposition seats. So it was unanimously decided that the bill fails. Oh. Well, no, usually. Sorry, I just want to say, usually a presidential appointment, in the words of Killian, does. I know, not Killian, I'm pretty sure Karma told me this. They usually sit on the government side, as I believe they're considered the government. Well, they are considered something like that, considering they are presidential appointment as well. Anyway, we anyway do continue as what you were saying. Right, I see. We're currently discussing the confidence bill, and I understand that this bill, who was it proposed by? I mean, do you have anything to say about this bill? I'm quite interested in it because I think the concept is a cool one, but I don't really understand what the point of it would be. So, am I correct in saying if the confidence bill works where if a motion of no confidence is tabled and it succeeds, but then the government somehow gains the support of the opposition again, they can reinstall confidence? So, I haven't read the bill fully, but from what I think I saw, if, say, the government was motion of no confidence and it succeeded, a motion of confidence can be tabled to say that you're confident in the government. Um, to undo the. Oh, I see. So it's just changing it to make sure that the parties must vote in game to actually have an effect. Ah, I see. I mean, I thought it was something else. I thought it was like if the government got a vote of no confidence and lost it, then a vote of confidence could bring them back. But never mind. Okay, I see. We have two tar on the current bill, the confidence bill, one abstain, and 2-0, which I believe makes the bill fail anyway. Well, yeah, it does delay, but it's fine in the words of Anti-Shop. I did actually hear that some people were thinking that you were going to call an early election. Do you think? Oh no, I'm going to keep this completely anonymous. But are you actually whoever is saying this? Are you actually going to be calling an early general election? Right, I see. So the confidence bill has failed today's session, but it will be retabled for next week in the Shannon. If it doesn't pass, then I'm pretty sure it just dies, doesn't exist anymore. No, apparently, usually it just falls into a black hole of bills where if they're delayed when if they're delayed and the next week is an election or say a new government, then I'm pretty sure the bill just dies. Right, I see. Right, I see. So, I mean, we're now voting on the Oireachtas quota bill. Um, this was another thing that was considered quite controversial because it forces activity quotas that are mandatory for members of the Dáil and Seanad. What do you have to say to the deputies that are saying that this bill would be ineffective and would actually kill the game? I would like to quick. Okay, I see. I would like to quickly confirm what the quota actually would be. Like, how many times they have to show up in game or what? So it is still for. So it's still you have to turn up basically every 2 weeks, I suppose. But that fails when, if say a member showed up 3 times within, does it have to be like one time every 2 weeks or? But then you could argue in that case that, and if you don't have four before the end of the term, what happens then? And that punishment is to be suspended from the duel, but the duel would already be suspended. Oh, I see. What about people who join and leave, and then join again and leave until they have filled that quota? Oh, I see. Oh, so it doesn't have to be co-monohone. It can be just any. It can just be, hold on, what's it called? Dublin Castle. Okay, I see. So they would also have to provide proof of this, right? Right, I see. Um, I'm not. Is he currently in the? Yeah, yeah. I was just sorry. My brain was just fumbled there. So I'm just thinking a lot about the Sovs UK, and wouldn't this have a big impact on Ireland? Yeah. So that. So I do think that is a nice thing to see, though. We still see the cooperation between our island and the Sovs UK. We have actually had Oscar Sullivan say in general chat that your tennis store, Bo, also does the same thing apparently. With the Sovs. Right, I see. So,
Excuse me.
right, I'm currently just seeing what is being told about the being said in the Shannon. He says that, oh well, this is, trying to remember his name, entity talking about the bill, saying that there weren't many people who showed up to the Shannon today, and by requiring people to attend when they may not be able to will just drop people's interest in even being a TT or in the Shannon. No, I think he has actually raised quite a good point there. wouldn't this cause people to not want to be in the Shannon, which has been a very big issue with attendance and such? Okay, before I do say that, before we do continue on that, I just want to quickly ask. No, sorry, I'm so sorry. Um, what entity is arguing here is that, but wouldn't this make the job less appealing, which means for all parties, less people will want to run for Shanadori? Because as you can see, attendance in the door right now is quite appalling. There hasn't been many people attending. Wouldn't this just make the Shanad and the duel both less appealing to those who actually have to keep getting on the game? Sorry, just before you do talk about the bill, the confidence bill or the quota bill, I can't remember which one it was. I have had another point raised by Shanadori. How will these times actually be logged? Like, will it be like the Garda where you have shifts when you join, or? So I would like to hear the statement that Hugh was making about his bill. Whilst you do, I will be inviting Leah up onto the stage as a representative of the Social Democrats. But Mr. Sunday, please do read out what Huey has said. Um, okay, so I just want to make a final point. Okay. I just want to make one final point that has been raised in the Shanad. Wouldn't this, like, during times where there has been lots of inactivity during Ireland, especially in the games, politics has usually kept it alive. What if this happens? Wouldn't this just kill Ireland even more, and the only active part of it would also die? Right, I see. I do. Sorry, there is a statement being made by Oscar. I will let you say what you want to say in a minute, Leah. Um, Oscar has made a statement saying, "This bill is a disastrous and desperate attempt by the government to revive the community, which, in the words of our beautiful Lana Del Rey, born to die." I have to agree with the amazing Shanadori. Sorry, please let me finish reading the speech and then yeah. Um, Okay, just rereading the part. I have to agree with my amazing Shanadora entity. The active political participation of our community has stood by us in the worst times of activity, and by suspending TDs and Shanadori from the jail for not attending the startups will only kill our longest standing institution, which has kept us alive in our most desperate times. Also considering that in most of our desperate times, also considering half of the government TDs haven't played Monaghan in weeks. Sorry, I would. Leah, please do let him speak. So I just need to mention the Shanad has now has not dissolved, has now adjourned. I do need to mention, I believe the quota bill was delayed, and so was the public appointments bill. Oh, oh, I didn't think it did. I thought that was an abstain. Never mind. But yes, please do continue. So I just need to mention messages. So just a. So I do need just a moment. So just if I could take just a moment, any messages said by members who are on the RTE, these beliefs aren't, accepted or denied by RTE, and they're not endorsed by us either. Anyway, please do continue. So I'm just very quickly taking a look at the spreadsheet. So I just want to quickly point out the spreadsheet. There have been 2 people who didn't attend today from Finna. 2, 3, 4. No, 3 people who didn't attend from Finna 4. A fourth was ejected from the session. Oh, well, this is what it says on the spreadsheet. 3. No longer. Well, no longer Ernst Kohlher and Jack Cosgrave have all been marked as did not attend with reason. No, without reason. Well, that is something you may need to bring up with the Oireachtas staff then. Um, I think it was JJ who took attendance to this session, so I think there's a lot of angry people at him today. But I mean, to keep this more on track. To keep this more on track, we will disregard the claims that 7 TDs were not present, because I believe the spreadsheet has been done incorrectly. But, I mean, just to raise another point regarding the quota bill, I mean, you have been very adamant on... Actually, no, the confidence bill. We have talked a lot about the quota bill, but what about the confidence bill? You have said that the confidence bill... Well, Social Democrats haven't been entirely in agreement with the confidence bill. Why do you not agree with it? Do you have any response to that, Mr. Sunday? Yeah, I would like to ask, on that point, has there even been any proof of this toxicity, and how does it cause toxicity to happen? Right, I think do you have any response to that, Mr. Sunday? Right, well, I mean, I am trying to think of questions here to ask. I will now take the time to mention that anyone watching at home may ask questions to either side, or both sides, anonymously or not. I would like to see... Again, I am trying to think of other questions to ask. Again, please do DM me if you have any. Alright. Hold on, I am just quickly getting a question. We can speak on the Appointments Commission in just a second. Okay, I've just had an anonymous question. They've asked, quote for quote, Sunday is Taoiseach. He has chosen to coalition with the government. Why is he not taking responsibility? The Green Party TDs are all a group of roast schoolers Burr imported. What does Sunday think? Oh, they're two separate questions. Okay, we'll start with Sunday is Taoiseach. He has chosen to coalition with the government. Why is he not taking responsibility? It's anonymous. They've asked to remain anonymous, and I will not say who it is if they have asked to remain anonymous. Okay, the other question that was proposed, the Green Party TDs are all a group of roast schoolers, Bow imported. What do you think? Okay, I'm just... Hold on, I do want to mention they've said they cannot ask questions non-anonymously because they would be... they're impartial. Will you still not answer, or... Okay, we do have another question. Whoever wants to take it first, what are your... you don't have to answer this because it is on policies, and I don't expect you to have them right off the bat. So what are your views on foreign policies? Either one of you can start first. Foreign policies. Again, you don't have to respond to these because I get that you're randomly being asked for policies, which no, it isn't favourable to a party. Foreign. So I would ask if Sunday wouldn't